Hey friends, guess what we're sewing today? We're sewing panties. So I have become more confident sewing stretch fabrics, and I sewed 3 of this tonic tee. Absolutely love this top. And now I'm like, I've got some fabric scraps, and what else can I do with it? So when I sewed this tonic tee here, I had just enough fabric left after doing the puff sleeves to sew not just one, but 2 pairs of panties. This is a pair of Ladyshorts, is what they call them. They're very cute. Both of the patterns that I'm sewing today, I'm going to focus on the Acacia pattern. That's a free pattern. It's linked in the description. And this other one is called the Rosy Lady Short, also in the description. I love sewing panties. I thought that the delicate fabric, all the lace, fiddling, I thought it was gonna make me go crazy, but it has been super fun. So here's what we've cut today. This is the front piece. The fabric that I'm using is actually the lining from a dress that I picked up today. There was a $2 a pound sale at my thrift store. So I bought this lace dress, cut out the lining, because I would be using the lace for something else. But here's where the fabric came from. This is just a polyester lining from a dress. Easy peasy, and it's a gorgeous color. This is the lace we're going to use with it. Black and plum panties. Delicious. Delicious. So here's where I am. I'm going to take you all over. We're sewing on Richard gear today. He's so handsome and talented. Let me show you what he looks like. Hi, Richard. He's got the fancy stretch stitches. So what I'm using is stitch D, and we're doing a zigzag width of 3. And kind of like the middle length here. It worked for the yellow fabric. It worked for the shirt that I'm wearing. And now we're gonna see how it works for this purple fabric. We're gonna have to do some test stitches because I haven't quite gotten there yet. How is this lighting for you, friends? Not terrible, huh? All right, so this is just a scrap, and I've threaded my machine. We've got bobbin thread down there in the same color. Let's see how this fabric behaves. Now for these panties, we're going to be sewing a 3/8 inch seam allowance. So it's pretty small. And yeah, let's see how this fabric behaves. I honestly can't tell you what kind of needle I have in here right now, but it looks like we're doing okay. I'll show you up close in a moment. Not bad. How's the stitch look? Nice and stretchy. All right, this looks like it's gonna do us good. That looks fine. Okay, let's start sewing. Now I have a little cheat here. The instructions are great, and there's also some YouTube videos of folks who have made these panties. It's got a really great fit. I really, really like the fit, and they're kind of just classic. And they're free, so you can't beat that. Now, let me get an idea of how to sew this up in a way that really like maximizes your effort and minimizes your stitches. So one thing I'll tell you, because this is a synthetic fabric, I cut a lining from a cotton t-shirt. It's got nice stretch as well, and you just might want to use that for your lining gusset. All right, here we've got, it looks like she's got, here, I'm just going to play this through. And I'm going to pin one seam to the other. So this is the actual gusset piece. And then the lining is going to sandwich that on top. So let me Let me get organized here, and we're gonna do some burrito rolling. All right, get that back there out of the way, and let's get this situated for us. Okay, so let's put our well, first let's make sure that all our fabrics, okay, which is the right side, which is the wrong side of stretch fabric. Sometimes it's a little tricky to tell. I'm actually just gonna, whichever side feels better against my skin is the side that I'm gonna use as the wrong side / back side. And I'm gonna call that, they both feel about the same. This is wrong side. So we're doing all these pattern pieces right side up. And I think that she's got the back piece up top. So this is the back. And that is right side up. Yep. And this is the front piece. We also want that to be right side up. And now we want our gusset to be, you guessed it, right side up. No, we want, okay, right side. I gotta back up a little bit. This is the part that, like, you just want to make sure you get it right, okay? It can be a little bit confusing, especially, like I said, when you're working with fabrics that are kind of hard to see right side, wrong side. All right. So she's showing us from the beginning.
I'm going to do this. I'm going to roll up almost as close to the seam here.
Rolling, rolling, rolling.
One seam to the other.
I missed that. Did she like flip it around when she rolled? That was weird.
Like that.
Okay.
Now I'm going to do the same with the front. Just roll it up.
Okay, I see what she did. Sorry, I just looked away for a moment and got totally distracted. All right, so let's start at the beginning here. Rolled it up. And then put this like this, right? And then flip it. I don't think I'm doing this right. Oh my gosh.
Gusset. And here's a second gusset piece for the inside, which I like to cut out in white. So I start off with the fabric gusset.
Fabric gusset, we're starting off there. All right, rolling it up, rolling it up, rolling it up.
To the seam here. And I'm going to pin
Okay,
one seam to the other.
there we go. So we are right sides together, pinning like so.
Together.
Perfect. All right, we got it, gang. So now this one's getting rolled up
Front.
and then getting flipped. And then
Pin them here together.
we're making a sandwich. A little Oreo cookie sandwich. It's gonna be so delicious.
Because I have a very light foil.
So we've got panties in the middle and gussets sandwiching them.
Then we get our gusset
Now,
piece in white, and we're going to lay that
I
down
think we want this to be,
basically sandwiching.
this is tricky. Which side do we want right side and wrong side to be for the lining? I think we want it to be, oh my goodness. So this is right side. It's going to be flipped out like that. So we want this to be right side as well. And I'm calling that side right side. Your guess is as good as mine. Okay. So let's get some pins in here and then we're going to start sewing. Oh, this is so exciting. I really like this Acacia pattern. Here's the instructions. They're super easy to follow. I just want to point out that she uses for the wrong side of the fabric, it's the white, and for right side, it's grayed out. I feel like there really needs to be a standardized way of doing that, but it's surprising to me that the pattern companies, like, they all kind of do it however they want to do it. And I've gotten messed up by it before. All right, so this fabric is quite fiddly, and we're just gonna have to not rush things. Now, we're gonna need a few pins. So I mentioned I am participating in so much in March, and the tally is like really good already. I've sewn 3 tonic t-shirts, and I've sewn 2 pairs of panties, and I've sewn a pair of biker shorts with side pockets. And today is the 11th of March. This is like unheard of for me. I am not a fast sewer, and I also am not somebody who like has a lot of time or energy for sewing projects. So I don't know if it's something about knits or something about spring, but whatever the case is, I've really been hitting it hard at the sewing machine. I'd also like to give mad props to Richard Gere. Not to be confused with the actor. This is Richard Gere, Gear, that we're sewing on today. He is such a stud. Prior to this machine, I have mostly sewn on vintage singers, and they're great girls. They're lovely. They're wonderful. I love sewing on a vintage singer, but the fancy stitches that Richard has up his sleeve are just something else entirely. So it's pretty fun. Now let's get the rest of this pinned up. And boy, this fabric slips around. It is very, very slippery. All right, let's start sewing our seams. Here we go. Get the lighting just right for us. And we can get started here. So, let's just start it on up. Again, we're using 3/8 inch seam allowance. And we're going to be careful with stretch fabric, just not to pull on it when you're sewing. I'm going to do some back stitches. Let's keep going. Now this can get a little bit tricky here. Let me sink my needle. And then I feel like my fabric is at risk of getting stuck up in here. I think we got through all right. It wasn't ideal, but we made it. Okay, now we're good. So again, trying not to stretch the fabric. Let's go. Gentle hands, gentle hands. This is really not easy. It is not easy fabric to work with, but we're doing just fine. I feel like I'm a little caught on something. I don't know what that's about. I might want to increase the pressure on my presser foot. Maybe a walking foot actually would be a really good idea for this. I might pull out my walking foot. And we'll see how the other side goes and then make a decision on that. All right, stitches look good. What do we think of these lovely stretch stitches? Yes. All right. So let's get the other side of our gusset sewn together. This is the short side, the front side. And won't it be wonderful if when I unroll this burrito sandwich, everything is fitting together the way that it's meant to? I think we'll be good. Okay. Oh, this is great. This fabric is so pretty. It's got a really nice stretch to it also. You can size up or size down based on the percentage stretch of your fabric. The first time I sewed these up, I used a stretch cotton knit, and this polyester, it's like, I think it's 5% spandex, 95% polyester. It stretches a lot more, so I'm doing a smaller size. Okay, I hope we're still aligned all right here. No pulling, no pulling. Nice and gentle. All right. It should be good. Woohoo! All right. I feel like I'm stuck here. Feels like a lot of tension on the machine. All right, so here is our little panty burrito. Let's unwind it. Oh, here we go. We've got our gusset lining, and we've got our front and back panties attached to each other. Yay! All right, so there are, this looks pretty good to me. There's a number of different edges that you can use when you finish off your panties. This is what I have been using and really enjoying. I've been using elastic lace, and it's super, super pretty, and it's super fun. And let me show you what I picked out for this pair. It's buried under all the stuff, but it's here somewhere. Here it is. Ta-da! So for this, it's got less stretch to it than the material does. And some people say that for the leggings, or for the leg openings, you can stretch the elastic a little bit when you sew it on. And in fact, in the instructions, it tells you to cut it a little bit shorter than the actual leg hole. But I have not been doing that. I don't like panties to be tight on my legs. And so if you're doing that route, you know, you want to pay attention. Just do what you're told to do in the instructions and not what I'm doing. But if you don't like your panties too tight on your legs, then you can kind of do it this way, and I think it'll work great for you. We're going to be doing some pinning, and pinning is a big part of sewing. If you don't like pinning, you're kind of going to be out of luck, I think, because you're just going to be getting frustrated a lot of the time. All right, so I feel like this is going to be really, really hard to sew. Both of these things, oh, let me take a look here. So typically lace and things like that, they have a right and a wrong side. And again, what I like to do is I just like to have it so that, well here, first of all, let me show you. We're pinning right sides together, and then this is going to get folded over and stitched again. So look at how pretty this is going to be. It's totally up to you how much of the lace edge you want to be exposed. I'm just keeping it simple, and I'm going to just align the lace and the edge of the panty fabric. And wow, this is so slippery. This is so slippery. Oh my goodness. Okay. Let me just keep pinning here. This is just tricky. It's not impossible. We're going to be fine. We're going to be fine, friends. Okay. Don't pull or stretch. Done. Get one in here and get another one over here. Right at that seam. And we're going to cut this off here. All right, so once we get to the gusset part, we're going to be sewing through 3 layers of fabric at that point. And it shouldn't be a problem. It's just good to know when you're changing in that spot to having a thicker, more thickness of fabric underneath it. It's actually 4 layers because we have the gusset folded over too. Oh, we got a little wave over here. It's okay. Oh my gosh, this color just, ugh, the black lace. I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. Oh my gosh, I'm definitely putting the walking foot. Oh, let me think. Does my walking foot fit on this machine? I actually don't think it does. I think I tried once and there was just an issue with the all my Singers are low shank sewing machines and they all use the same feet attachments, and this one, it's obviously not a Singer, it's a Riccar R1800, and it does not work with my walking foot, unfortunately. So we're just gonna have to be really, really finessey. We're gonna finesse the heck out of this stretchy fabric, and it's gonna be great. Oh my gosh, that's pretty. Okay, let's start sewing the lace on to the leg opening. Ooh! All right, again, we are doing 3/8 inch seam allowance. Let me get you over here where you can see. How do we like it from this side? Is that pretty good? I'm not used to having people watch me on this machine yet. We're gonna put you over here. There you go. How's that spot? Comfortable? Good. All right, so let's start sewing here. Get my pin cushion over here so it's a little easier for me. And let's go. Curious actually for this. No, I was just thinking in my mind, would it be better if I used black thread for this part? I don't think so. I think the purple is just going to be fine. But it's a good question to ask. All right, here we go. It's going fairly well. I veered off a little bit, so let's right the ship. There we go. Can't even look away for an instant with this stuff. So slippery. Okay, so now I'm coming to this area where the gusset is. So 3 layers of fabric instead of just 1. And I'm just gonna go real slow and steady. Perfection. So now we're pretty much over the hump and we're just doing 3 layers of fabric. Just a little bit off there, that's okay. All right, we're coming to the next hump. We are golden. We just got a little bit left here. This is the front section. Veering a little bit again. Oh, and you really want to be careful. Definitely avoid any kind of creases, wrinkles in your fabric. That is no good. backstitch. Beautiful. Beautiful. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be so pretty. Whoa! What the heck did I just do? Tore my thread. Okay. Not usually that strong. Let me rethread my needle. Cut this out of here. And we can cut this lace too. I'm just gonna cut it right there. Alright. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty! Okay, let me rethread. I need glasses for that. Oh boy. Come on. There we go. So I get a lot of my sewing supplies secondhand from thrift stores or Facebook Marketplace. And this particular spool of thread I'm using, the purple, it came from a thrift store. And a lot of times they say, you know, if you don't know how your thread was stored, you might not want to risk using it, things like that. And here's a little bit of a bummer. What happened here? No. The rest of my stitches look great, but I am not trusting whatever happened here. How do we remedy that? Well, it might be okay, because what we're going to be doing here is we're going to be flipping the lace over to the wrong side. Here, let me pull it over there. And we're going to be stitching again. So I definitely don't want this to be a problem in the future, like in the wash or getting caught on something, tearing out. But I kind of feel like it's okay to risk it because it's gonna be sewed again. All right, let's just roll with that. Oh my gosh, there's something that I forgot about. So, okay, I did something a little bit different for the first pair. Let me show you. For the gusset, I actually, I realized that sometimes I don't like, you know, elastic rubbing against, this is right where your leg is, your inner thigh. So what I did was I did not attach the elastic here. And no, what I did, this is what I did. I sewed the elastic to only the outer side. So let me show you on this because it's two different colors. The elastic I would have only sewn to just the purple. And then what I would have done is folded that over and then folded this and then stitched the lace. Does that make sense? So instead, because I didn't do that, what it's going to look like when we fold it over, it's going to look like this. And this is kind of a lot of layers. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do this over. No, what I'm going to do, I'm going to come back to it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do the other leg, and I'm going to do the other leg the quote-unquote right way, which is that I'm only going to, and to do this even better, and I forgot this as well, don't stitch this edge part here. Only stitch this in like the middle and leave your 3/8 inch seam allowance over here, right, when you're attaching the gusset. And then when you're attaching the lace, only attach your lace to the outside, fold it under, and then this will get folded over, and then you sew the lace, or you sew the seam. You know what I mean. I hope you know what I mean. All right, so that's going to solve this. Why would anyone want that rubbing against their leg when you can have soft cotton without any elastic? Yeah, that's much better. All right, so let's do that the right way on the other leg. All right, so to make that a little bit easier, I think what I did was I kind of just pinned the lining out of the way, and that just kind of, you know, puts your mind a little bit at ease that you're not accidentally gonna sew your lining gusset. But you still might, because, you know, I did. Sewing is so complicated. I had someone here today and she was commenting on, you know, just, oh, I love your sewing studio. What a fun hobby. I don't have enough patience for it. I said, well, you know yourself, because, yeah, it takes a lot of patience for this hobby. And that's kind of something that I really like about it myself. Okay, I'm just trimming some edges here, and then we're going to be pinning. Get the glasses off. And let's get this on here. All right, so we want to make sure that we're using the same side that we did the first time. I believe that is, oh my goodness. This stuff is just really slick and really hard to maneuver. I think it's this side, yeah. So that actually makes it a little bit annoying because we need to start on this end. All right, that is fine. No. We don't need to start on that end. What are we doing here? Let me get everything clear in my mind, and I apologize that you all can't see the whole big picture the way I can, but I need a big picture view right now because it's easy to do things backwards. It's easy to do things upside down, and we just want to double check and make sure that we're not doing that. All right, so this is what, yeah, this is exactly what we want. So let's get the first pin in, the most important pin. Goes right here. There we go. And let's do all the pins that we need to hold this puppy together. Have y'all been sewing a lot in March? Have you been doing the So March dance? Oh my gosh. It was really, really nice out today. And so I was out on my patio for a while, lounging. I just had like some patio cushions on the ground. And I was lying there watching something with a friend, and then I was thought about reading, but I was like, no, I think I'm gonna watch some YouTube astrology. So I got some astrology readings, kind of dozed off for half a minute. It was divine, and I just tell you, every year, once winter is starting to end and spring comes in the game, I'm like, whoa, I did not realize that I was a little bit down, wasn't I? It just changes everything. I think that, especially with, you know, the clocks recently changing, I feel like there's more energy and enthusiasm that people are feeling, and it's just a really nice time of year. Well, right now we're probably in a fake spring, but here on the East Coast, I think we are expected to get some warm weather for, the next few days at least. Maybe some rain over the weekend. But we actually kind of need the rain, although it makes me ache. Oh my goodness. The rain and the humidity are not my friends so much. Okay, we are still pinning. The sewing, I feel like, went faster than the pinning, didn't it? The sewing is the funnest part of sewing, and it kind of makes me sad, and it's very ironic that it's kind of like the thing you do the least. There's a lot of measuring, there's a lot of cutting, there's a lot of pinning, there's even a lot of pattern altering and pattern hacking and all these different things, you know. Learning new skills, changing your foot, figuring out what needle to use. That is all the bits of sewing that need to happen in order to get something done. Okay, I'm cutting the lace, and we're gonna need that for the waistline, but not for a little while here. All right, let's get this under here. And oh my gosh, this machine also has a, what do we call this? Is this called a free arm? Like this piece can come off. So if I had closed the side seam first and then attached the lace, which is another option, you can certainly do that if you prefer. It'd be super easy to just lap the leg right around there. And yeah, this is a great machine. Okay, this can be a little tricky. Good. We're off to the races. Seems like sometimes the lace is getting a little bit hung up back there, but we're good. All right, so we're coming close to the gusset here, and we're gonna go slow. I feel like those weird stitches that I had happened just right before we got to the gusset area. Hopefully they won't repeat. Okay, gusset is pinned out of the way, the lining gusset. Ooh, I hope that I didn't mess up the other side too much or at all. Yeah, see, it's a little bit tricky. We're doing fine, we're doing fine. This is just gonna get pulled over there. And that has to get pulled back over there because we just aren't doing stuff quite right. Okay, we're good, we're good. We are good. Now, if you ever want to sew panties, I recommend doing like 3, 4, 5, maybe even 6 in a batch, because it's going to save you a lot of effort and time. And you're just going to be like, boom, boom, boom. Sew all the elastic, boom, boom. Sew all the side seams. And it's going to be really fun. I'm kind of slipping, sliding over here. So let's get righted out. Good. Oh my gosh. You seriously can't even look away for a moment from this slippery fabric because it just all goes to a handbasket. Great, we are done. Now, oh my gosh, we got to see what this is going to look like here. Okay, I think we're going to be okay, but let's take a close look and see how this is going to go. All right, I think it's going to be great. Look at, we're going to fold this over like so, and then this is folded under. And we're just going to pin it and sew it like this. So that way, my friends, we don't have all of this rubbing against our inner thigh. But that means that I need to cut this out. So, seam ripper. Did you all hear that I'm downsizing? kind of sad about it. I'm actually really sad about it. No, I'm excited about it. Basically, this second bedroom had become my sewing studio. I made a video about it. Oh, how long has it been? It's been maybe a year and a half. And it's going to be changed back to a bedroom now. So that means that, well, it means a couple of things, right? Am I going to stop sewing? Heck no. Am I going to have to find another spot in my house to put all my sewing machines and my cutting station and all of the accoutrements you need for this wonderful hobby? Yes, that's exactly what I'm going to do. And I've realized after talking with some friends and seeing their setups, not everyone has or uses a dining room table. Now, I live in a small space, and the situation right now is that there's a kitchen that has a tiny little table that seats 2 people. It's like a high top table. So that's one spot to eat food at. And then the living room and the dining area are just right off the kitchen, like connected to each other. It's one space. So, what am I trying to say here? The dining table is gonna go bye-bye. I think. I haven't fully committed to this plan yet, but I have been clearing out things from the sewing studio, and that has been a big project. I've had help, thankfully. Oh, but yeah, this is a real pain in the neck to seam rip if you can't tell. We're doing stretch fabrics, and oh my gosh, this is really not easy, but look, we're doing it. So yeah, it's been actually great, and what's been really fun is some other friends have shown me like what their crafting spaces look like and encouraged me like, hey, look at, I have my jigsaw puzzles all over the dining room table. Hey, look at, this is where my sewing machine is. And we eat on TV trays, like that sort of thing. It's kind of just normalizing it. And I am really excited that we're going to make it work. We're going to make it work. Oh my gosh. You know what? I'm setting this aside for now. Hi, Michelle. How are you? Good to see you. Oh my gosh. I pulled my thread out again. Someone's starting to get a little tired. Okay. What I'm going to do, rather than seam rip that and make myself bonkers and really try all your patience trying to watch me painfully rip out some seams from stretch fabric, what we're going to do instead is the leg that is the way I like it to be. We're going to stitch down the lace. All right, so that is this side. So what we're going to do here, this is the wrong side of the fabric. This is what it's going to look like from the right side of the panties. Super pretty. Now for this, I think, just trying to think when I sew it, which side do I want to be facing up? I think I'm just going to do this side, and I'm going to try to put the stitches like right in here, and then that way it's not going to be rolling back up. There's also, I mean, I could trim this seam allowance, but I kind of feel like I don't want to. I like having a little bit more support here, I think. I mean, how much stretch are we going to have? This is the way this fabric stretches the most is this way, that, you know, hugs around your bum, and it stretches less that way. And then once you add the stitches, even though they're stretch stitches, and you add the lace, it kind of limits the amount of stretch at that point. So, I mean, do I want to cut some of this off, or am I okay with it? I think I'm okay with it. having a, what do they call it? A brain fart right now. Let's trim it a little bit. No, you know what? It's fine. It's actually totally fine. We're gonna be good. We're just gonna flip it and sew it. So let's start pinning over here. And I think I want to put it through, yeah, I could put it through the machine this way. So let's get pins going in like this. Oh my gosh, these are so pretty. Okay. I am going to trim the seams where this gusset is inserted because we just have a big lump, huge hunk of lump of fabric over here. It does not need to be there. Okay, that's better. And oh, I see what's going on. I'm just confusing myself a little bit because that's already folded under and the other isn't. Okay, there we go. So this is going to be a little bit tricky. Oops, sorry, you can't see what I'm doing. A little tricky because I'm doing this little topping trick. So first of all, this didn't get sewn in here exactly the way I would have liked, but let's see if we can work around it. This is about the best we could do. And you know what? I think I'm okay with that. Now the back is going to be a little bit better. Hang on a sec. Let's start there, actually. Okay. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pin this down and then I'm going to fold the top part. And then, oh, can I do it like that? It's going to be tricky. I think I can because I could pull this out the side. Just trying to figure out how to manage all these pins and get a really nice, comfortable gusset in here. Oh my gosh. So I'm kind of amazed that I like working with knit fabrics. I'm kind of amazed. I really want to cut this stitch out so bad so I can do it just the way I want it. No, we're fine. We're just going to have a little bit of lace that's coming over here. And then after this part, we're going to have the white part coming up and over. Got it? It's perfect, just the way it is. All right, so now we've got this folded like that. Let me get some actual real pins in here. And we said we're going to sew it that direction. So let's do this. And then let's do this. This looks pretty good to me. Whoops, gotta line it up. Okay. This is really, really tricky fabric though. Stretch, especially when it's slippery. It's really good for your brain, feeling different textures and working with different, so I didn't have much of an idea, like, okay, how much does cotton knit fabric stretch? How much does something with spandex in it stretch? Now I have more of an idea of that just from working with 3 different stretch knit fabrics. And it's pretty cool to just kind of feel more comfortable with it, feel more confident. I didn't ever think I would get to this point in my sewing, and I'm so grateful that I have, because it's really given me some confidence. Confidence is always a good thing. All right. We're getting close to the end here, I promise you. If I ever timed myself, like how long an actual sewing project took, I feel like I would be really embarrassed. But the upside to that is it's really good for me to do things where I don't feel rushed or hurried. And I don't like to feel rushed or hurried. I feel like that a lot in everyday life. And when I don't feel like that in the sewing studio, it's really quite refreshing. So, chances of me timing myself, how long it takes to do a project, I don't think I'm gonna ever try and do that. Okay, so for this part's really fun. I like sewing this. It's, now we're working with like 2 layers of fabric and 1 layer of lace. And so it's a little bit less unyieldy. It's a little bit more supportive. It's a little less stretchy. So I'm just centering the folded over part of the lace right on top, or right underneath my foot. And here we go. And I ended up realizing that we really just don't want this to be folding back down. So I'm kind of sewing it a little bit closer to the edge here than I originally said. I'm like basically lining up. I'm a little over. You'll figure it out. So here's this weirdo part, and it's going to be totally fine. We're just going to keep sewing over all these rumples. And let me get my little tool here, because that's going to be helpful. I want to sink my needle. I want to get this under here really good. Right there, I think. Okay. Ooh, that was tough, but we did it. We did it. Okay. We're still good. So for this part, I'm kind of sewing more over here. Okay. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be so pretty. Oh, I can't wait. Okay, hang on. Oh, shoot. All right, this is kind of, it's pulling over a little bit and it's making me nervous. Okay, wait, we got it. Okay, we're good. Let's keep going. Keep going. Okay. Got a million bumps to go over here. Oh shoot, this is really complicated. We got it though. Okay, I think we managed the gusset. Woo! Everything's a little bit like kind of off here, but we're fine. All right, excellent. It's just like you can tell when your earlier stitches were a little off. It's like, okay, well, those are off, but these ones have to be off. And the stretch is like very forgiving. But here's a little problem. Let me sink my needle. Try to pull this over. Okay, good. Just kind of wrinkling up on me a little bit here at the end. There we go. Oh my gosh! All right, we got one side done, and my friends, let's see how this looks. Oh my gosh, it's beautiful. Oh my gosh, look at how pretty this is. Oh my gosh, that looks really good. So I'm going to keep at it, and the plan is to do lace at both of the leg holes and then lace at the waist as well. I think these are going to be really fun and flirty and cute. And I really suggest, if you want to try sewing some knits, if you want to use up some scrap fabric, why don't you try sewing the Acacia panties? They're lovely. Okay, happy sewing, happy crafting. Hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye.